Video input capture. Hello, testing. Hello. Hey, stream, can you guys hear me at all? I am just double checking. Tyro, can you try and talk for me?
Hear you
All right, try
whatsoever.
talking now.
I'm talking right now.
All right, actually, I see you popping up on my screen now. All right, so apparently there was a bit of technical difficulty going on. I guess there was an issue with my audio, which is weird because nothing was muted. But I guess I got it fixed. So with that being said, welcome to the stream again. I'm going to be your host, Yep. Tonight's matchup is going to be Division D East. It's going to be Calculated Throw versus DG Reborn. And tonight with me on the co-cast chair is going to be Mr. Tyro, who is a new co-caster, hopeful for NGS. So welcome, Tyro.
Hype. This is actually my third cast. So if I'm not misinterpreting the rules, I will no longer be a hopeful
You need
after
4
this.
co-casted games.
That feels
You're
bad.
close. You're close.
I get it tomorrow.
I mean, tonight is my debut as a full-fledged member of the Nexus Gaming Series casting team. So, pretty excited about that. So, once again, a personal shout out to Professor Bobo and Murda RG for being lovely fellows and giving me help when needed. And in the meantime, I know the games haven't started yet. We are currently waiting for one more player from the side of DG Reborn. There seems to be a little bit of a mix-up going on over there, so we're just waiting to see what's up. And in the meantime, let's kind of go over kind of what I talked about when I was muted. I did some homework for the teams, and I'll go over that more as we get the draft. Thank you, by the way, Herkimer5 for your for saying that you can hear me. There's an echo. Oh, okay. Anyway, so for tonight's map bans and coin flips, we're going to have DG won the coin flip. They opted for the first hero pick, which has been relatively popular lately. And then for our map bans, we had Towers of Doom coming out of DG, Battlefield of Eternity coming out of Calculated Throw. And then our map picks for the first game is going to be on Volskaya Foundry, which was picked up by Calculated Throw, which was an expected pick from them. And then the second map of the series will be on Braxis Holdout, which came from DG. So, what are your feels about the maps?
Did you just say
Yes.
Brexit sold out on second game?
No.
It's Volskaya. Or no, Volskaya was... Oh, rip. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. Frankly, Volskaya doesn't surprise me. I see a lot of teams playing Volskaya in NGS right now. The big one is Braxis. Almost no one's picking the map. And in at least more than half of the games that we play in, Braxis is the other team's ban. No one seems to want to play this map, so I'm excited to finally see a game
I've seen
Braxis.
a few games on Braxis. I mean, just one of the things that kind of, a lot of people try to go for, like a really strong soul laner in the top lane and then 4 and trying to compete for bot. There's different theories that go about that. Some teams I know have been trying to, trying to develop more of a mobile comp so they can kind of move on the fly and, try and secure beacons and picks that way. And without any further ado, we actually have our 5th player coming in now. I'm just make sure everybody's ready up.
Give captain to Ridley.
Yes, good save, my man. All right, so we got everybody ready. We're getting
All
ready
right.
to go into game number 1 here on Volskaya Foundry. Sorry for the technical difficulties. And let's get this going. So, I'm kind of, I've played this map a bunch. I've played this map a bunch. So, just kind of some of the things now that we are starting to go into the draft. Just some of the picks that I could be expected to see coming out of at least calculated throw right now. There's some of them are pretty common, some of them not so common, and most of the picks coming out of DG that you could expect from them are pretty common. But I'll kind of wait and reveal that hand as we go. Let's see what the bands are though. What are you kind of feeling from the bands?
Yeah, let's hold in trepidation. Honestly, I'm gonna expect bands that feature meta heroes and feature the ability to group fight and sustain. And we're seeing it already. We're seeing the Alex ban. We're seeing the Blaze ban. They don't want to be playing against these heroes that have great team fight potential, because that's what this map is all about.
Just kind of besides that, right now the Blaze isn't a bad ban. He's really getting the solo in. Alex Straza, which was actually going, which is kind of interesting because that was one of the picks I was actually expecting possibly from DG Reborn, and they banned it out themselves. And we actually have a Genji ban coming out from Calculated Throw here. Nothing too unexpected.
I'm not surprised at all by really any of the bans. However, something to note, Raynor did get through. Asmodan got through, so we'll see if either team is interested in picking up those
I wouldn't
heroes.
be surprised to see Asmo here. I feel like he can get some decent stacks here on Volskaya. Lyric being picked up by DG. Not a bad pick per se. He's really good at the solo lane. He's really good at dealing with like a potential double tank meta. And our first two picks are going to be Junkrat and Artanis on the side of Calculated Throw, and which is kind of almost like a potential steal from DG Reborn, since that was one of their picks that I was expecting to see come from them.
I find it interesting playing the Artanis into the Leoric. Just overall, Artanis can win that. Shields are OP. His team fight potential, picking him that early, is kind of iffy to me, but DG justifies it by picking up Greymane into that Artanis, giving value to that blind.
Yeah, I feel like the suppressor pulse would be good here. Joanna and Greymane are picked up for DG. Joanna is definitely one of the tankiest tanks in the game, and her blinds will be pretty good. But right now they don't really have any tons of use yet from it. And actually a missed ban coming from Calculated Throw. Perhaps he had a miscommunication there. That's actually an NGS first for me. He missed a ban. And a little bit of the banter going on in the chat there.
Yeah, definitely got to be strategy, throwing the other team off. Yeah, that, or maybe it's a calculated throw.
Let's see what Calculated Throw picks up here. Going for the white main, which actually is not surprising as well. She's definitely one of those really, go-to healers at the moment.
Played white main for the first time today in the brawl, and her healing, the burst healing to save somebody, having experienced it firsthand, is kind of outrageous. Maybe a little broken. And the ETC pick up into the Joanna Leoric. Bit of a surprise.
I mean, yeah, Joanna does have her condemn that could, potentially ruin a mosh. However, if I'm playing ETC, I'm always going to go mosh. An interesting follow-up here with the Malfurion Chromie. So potential kind of gank scenario. And Asmo actually being picked up for the last pick for Calculated Throw. Very interesting setup here.
So I'm digging what DG wants to do here. Now, Chromie did receive nerfs. Most foremost to her W was significantly nerfed. Q was slightly nerfed, but her auto attacks were improved. But I'm digging what they're doing with the Joanna pull into the Malf route securing those free hits for Chromie.
Yeah.
If they can pull it off well, they can put out a lot of damage very, very quickly, especially with the Greymane. Those are going to be easy picks. If they don't pull it off, though, then Calculated Throw has that sustain. They've got that overtime damage from Junkrat and Asmodan.
You know, I kind of feel like right now the early game I feel is going to go to DG, but I feel if Calculated Throw plays their cards right and they don't necessarily take too much loss and can get to the late game, I feel that's where they're really going to shine, especially with the Asmo and Junkrat. But right now, I kind of feel like the early game is definitely going to go to DG, especially if they can. You know, those roots from Malfurion, and then the Greymane and Chromie, can do what they do best, which is kill people and secure that little bit more of an XP advantage.
Yeah, I expect Calculated Throw to play very, very safe. I kind of expect them to not fight mid, to start with their 1-3-1 or 1-4, however they choose to run that. But we'll see. Loading into the game right now.
Indeed. Loading into game number 1 in this Div D East matchup for round 3. Almost all the players are loaded in. And all right, here we go. We are in this game here now, representing Calculated Throw. We are going to be having on the ETC Scooterman, on the Artanis Strugans, on the Junkrat Fear with a little bit of a spray and some taunt going on. Mystic, their captain on the Asmodan, and Gravent on the White Man.
And playing for DG Reborn, we've got Abdel on the Chromie, Track and Matt on the Malfurion, Ridley on the Greymane, Niaoun on Joanna, and Gawain on Leoric.
Niaoun. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings name. So that was.
I wouldn't know.
Feels good, man. Anyways, right now, nothing too unexpected right now. Artanis and Leoric going off in their respected solo lanes. Actually, Junkrat opting to go to the bot lane. They're doing 1-3-1. Looks like right now. Well,
I like it. Typically, you run 1-4 whenever you think you can catch the opponent out. When you think that your team is a little bit stronger team fight early game. So this 1-3-1 is what I expected out of Calculated Throw. It's the right move. And they've already got just a hair's lead.
And, definitely I was expecting to see Prog Rock, which when I saw it slide in for the Globe, that basically confirmed it. Now, for those of you ETC people that don't necessarily play him, Prog Rock is actually pretty good. Once you secure 20 globes and you use your Qatar solo, it'll actually heal yourself and allies around you, so it just gives you just a little bit of additional healing.
One talent worth noting, Artanis went with the amateur opponent on this map. Now, while it's good, I feel like he would have gotten a lot of value out of reactive parry, giving him that 50 physical armor, especially against Greymane.
True. I mean, I feel like amateur opponent can have its uses, though. And we're actually opting for a switch between Artanis and ETC. Artanis going for that siege camp early on, and DG actually going for their fortification camp right now.
I like what Artanis is doing. And going for that camp right now. However, little thing known, if you take your fortification camp bottom the moment it appears, then it will cool down in time for you to grab it during the first objective.
And right now, actually, Calculated Throw going for their fortification camp as well. The siege camp has been captured. Let's take a look at them Asmo stacks. He's sitting at 28 right now. And nothing out of the ordinary going on right now. Seems pretty standard, just trying to get that soak. DG actually up a little bit in the soak right now.
A little surprising considered where it started, but Junkrat's playing very safe, especially against the Greymane. It's to be expected, so maybe losing a few minions soak here and there.
And so we're getting ready here for the first control point on Volskaya Foundry. And it looks like perhaps Calculated Throw is looking for some kind of setup, but they're opting to just go to the objective now. ETC going to be the first ones chilling on there. having that little bit of an aggressive zoning there. Artanis actually getting the swap on the Malfurion.
Malfurion getting swapped.
However, I kind of feel bad. ETC did not have his power slide to be able to necessarily secure that Malfurion. But right now, calculated throw in control of the control point.
DG moving in. They've got good positioning. Beautiful four-man slide.
Yeah, Artanis did show up in the backup though. However, ETC's a little bit low. The turret was used by calculated throw. DG still has their turret. And it seems that for the moment, DG is going to... It's been contested. ETC going in for another power slide.
We are going to for DG Reborn.
Yeah, Leoric is in trouble. However, Artanis is traded out, though. And so DG is still being able to secure control of this control point for now.
Yeah, calculated throw needs to back out, especially with Leoric so close to being back up. They're facing a 5-on-4. And from what it looks like, there's some low mana pools.
Well, I feel like right now,
Asmodee.
Junkrat's just doing his thing, was trying to poke down the enemy. That's actually some pretty significant damage on the Leoric that just respawned. And it looks like right now, calculated throw is just probably just working on getting their 7 before they recommit to this. They still have some time to do so. 7 talent tier online now for calculated throw, and now I'd say is the time we're expecting to see some kind of a re-engage. Slide coming in on the Leoric and the Malfurion. Malfurion actually getting swapped, but no one there to follow it up. Artanis getting a little bit low on that Leoric.
Joanna going to fall first. Maybe Artanis next. No, they're pushing Leoric
ETC
back.
there with some great power slides right now, just kind of buffing out the enemy zone.
Leoric dies. Chromie's super low. Grimmane's super low. They have to back. And Chromie falls to the
And now
Junkrat.
we have calculated throw securing the point again. Asmodee actually opting to go to the hearth and fill up on some of that necessary mana. And right now, this looks like, as it stands right now, calculated throw going to be getting the first protector.
Yeah, DG opting to go off and start their split soak. Asmodee moving bottom, as expected. We'll see what they choose to do with this protector, taking the first wall down for sure.
I'm kind of curious as to why they're going for the mid play, though. You know, for those watching, you know, the top lane is generally where you want to go on this first protector, and they're opting to go to it possibly now, yeah. And the whole point behind that is to secure that fountain, so that way you have the advantage for your team in the next control point.
However, I think they wasted maybe a little too much health out of the protector to get to it this time. They're trying to take down that sidewall, but it's just not enough.
The sidewall is down. They still have about 20 seconds. I think they're just trying to wait for the minion wave, maybe a team, but they're not going to be able to get it. And actually, was it Temporal Recall coming in? However, Chromie wasn't able to necessarily secure it.
Good stun from ETC stopping that combo.
Asmodee actually working on trying to chunk down that well, which he can do from a distance. Junkrat there with some pretty decent mines in this game so far.
Yeah, he keeps throwing that Q on that well. It's going down little by little. Oh, swap! Very brave swap from Artanis, going into tower range. No value coming out of it.
Well, which, like I said, was kind of the whole objective of moving that protector top lane. And now, calculated throw is definitely going to be securing their 10s. And let's see what they come online with.
Yeah, they are in a very great spot right now, especially with the late game that they have. Asmodee taking that Tide of Sin,
Purifier Beam coming from Artanis. I was kind of expecting to see Suppression Pulse, but Purifier Beam does have some potential here. You know, it can be used to potentially zone out that Chromie. It can be used to maybe zone out the Mouth. So, not necessarily the worst pick. ETC opting to hold back. We're going to have Riptire coming from Junkrat, and as well, Whitemane has not yet picked hers. Oh, wait. I think that is Crimson Aegis. Oh, Scarlet Aegis. My
Scarlet.
bad.
So close. ETC still holding though. Seriously considering that stage dive. It definitely has its uses, especially against a Chromie and a Malfurion and a Joanna who
Yeah.
can interrupt that.
And then from the other team, you know, we're going to have, like I said, Temporal Loop earlier from Chromie, Tranquility on the Mouth, Go for the Throat from Greymane, Blessed Shield from the Joanna, and Entomb from the Leoric.
Absolutely no surprises from Reborn. Ultis we expected. We do have stage dive from the ETC though.
I mean, it does have potential. I mean, but like, I mean, I could kind of maybe see where he might be reluctant to try and go Mosh. At the same time, though, stage dive can have its uses. You know, especially if you have an enemy team trying to run away and they're low, you can use stage dive in, and because it does do a good amount of slow on an enemy team. Or say if they need to soak really quick, he can, and then he can stage dive in to help his team. You know, there's some good variety there.
Yep, just have to worry about that Artan is taking too much damage as the engaging.
Well, I feel like right now Calculated Throw is at the advantage just simply because they have their turret, they have the support camp.
Yeah, they're sitting in a very good spot. They're taking up position.
Malfurion actually getting a good swap. However, Chromie manages to kill the Junkrat off the screen. And now Calculated Throw is actually down one, missing one of their major DPS. Swap on the Chromie, but there's no follow-up.
Swap on the Chromie.
Purifier Beam is coming on the Chromie, but she opted to use her Ron Stallions ability, I believe.
Early usage on that support camp. They needed to wait for the Junkrat to come back.
The CTC actually getting a little bit of low here.
A lot of good utility.
Whitemane using Scarlet Aegis, Entomb coming in. Riptire securing the Leoric kill. The turret actually from Calculated Throw actually zoning out the Malfurion, who's actually just a dunk. Joanna might be the next one to go. And there we go. Calculated Throw actually manages to secure the point once again. They do have their 13s on the line though, whereas DG doesn't. The Asmodan quest Gluttony is completed for Asmodan.
Yeah, phenomenal team fight from Calculated Throw. Even on the early engage, I'm not really too sure. I feel like DG maybe split up a little bit too much. Leoric ended up pretty far in that front line, and maybe that's what caused that disparity. But it looks like DG is getting ready to re-engage once Joanna and Malfurion get back.
So right now, looks like a possible re-engage coming in. Leoric opting to entomb the Asmodan. However, he is surrounded by an enemy team.
He's too far.
He's doing everything he can to stay alive, but he goes down. Now. Purifier Beam coming in on that Malfurion as I predicted, trying to box him out. Turret being dropped by DG, just trying to get whatever damage it can. And the Protector does go to Calculated Throw for the second time. And it looks like they're going for this top fort pressure here. Missed swap.
Yeah, I like the experience from it. The fort grants so much experience. There's a lot of value to be had. And they're in a commanding position where they can take bottom well.
She outstayed her welcome there. Chromie getting swapped.
Artanis swapped. Artanis will not survive this.
Chromie. I mean, who he went for did wind up dying. I wouldn't say it's necessarily an effective trade, but right now it's a 2-for-1. Their fort's down, top fort's down. They're getting their mid fort. So right now, definitely the advantage is going to Calculated Throw. 16-13.
I like what Calculated Throw is doing. They're playing very, very clean, not making a lot of mistakes. Artanis is ending up pretty far out, but not as far out as what Leoric is, and he's not being punished for those swaps. So those shields definitely coming in,
Yeah.
and just not the burst I expected to see.
I think
out
the
of
only
DG.
thing I'm disappointed when it comes to swaps is a lot of the times there isn't really the follow-up for them.
Yeah, the actual swaps have been beautiful. Almost all of them max range, hitting soft targets like that Malfurion or the Chromie.
And right now, actually getting all 3 forts with that Protector. That was actually a really nice pickup from Calculated Throw. Now they're going for the Fortification Camp. So is DG. Artanis by himself working on that Siege Camp. So all in all, seems to be a pretty good advantage right now for Calculated Throw.
I want to see an invade on the siege camp from Calculated.
And it looks like that's what they're going for. The swap was Misstage Dive actually coming in for... And, you know, they do get the camp. However, ETC sliding out. A dump coming in from Asmodean. Purifier Beam coming in on the Leoric this time.
I like the play. I like the denial. That camp isn't going to have a lot of effectiveness, but you deny its effectiveness from DG, where they have to spend this time cleaning up this other camp as well.
Yeah, and once again, they have the camp advantage. They have their fortification camp. They have the support camp. Joe, who, you know, has full health again for a second. She, you know, didn't have as much health. Could have got potentially picked off. And right now, if I was DG right now, I'd be doing everything I can to try and play safe and soak 16 before this next objective, because that's what they have to do.
Yeah, when you see the full team like you do now in the bottom lane, you need to split up. You got to pick up that top soak. You're down 2 levels. You're about to be down that 3 level mark. The extra damage, the extra health comes into play. And that is a great 3-man dunk.
Yeah, I feel like DG's going to get that 16 before the objective, but... And
oh, absolutely. It hasn't even
they're just looking for the safest waves they can. It looks like they're opting to go top, avoiding the Calculated Throw at mid.
Artana's starting to move that way without the rest of his team. Now they're coming. But DG is already backing up.
They're playing it safe. I mean, they see the ETC now. Joanna actually anchoring for the team of DG. And here we go. 3rd protector of the game. Will this be the protector that DG takes and says, let's turn this game around?
We'll see, but they're in a tough position because Junkrat went the Taste for Explosions, that frag quest. He has been getting great marks on it. He's up to 99 stacks now, giving him an extra 50 damage. And then Asmodean sitting on 300 stacks of his Annihilation. So they are packing a punch right now.
And a missed Entomb. Nobody in that Entomb. That Leoric already chunked down a good bit. Turret was already used.
Yeah. Those Asmodeans are hurting now. Both turrets used.
And I feel kind of like, even though DG has, not DG, Calculated Throw kind of surpassed my expectations in the early game, I definitely did say they have more of the late game advantage once Asmodean does come fully online. Purifier Beam coming in on that Leoric, who was stunned, and he's going to be able to get taken down. And right.
Great play, great team fight coming out from Calculated.
You know, I feel like
pushing
DG
back.
I almost feel like DG has to do something still. I feel like they can't just give this.
Yeah. Fortunately, the only dead right now is Leoric, and Leoric can respawn on the moment. So they can come back. Almost all of their ults are still up. Only Chromie's ulti was used. While Calculated Throw only has White Mane and Stage Dive.
For this Entomb to work, he needs to Entomb like an Asmo or a White Mane. And then Joanna needs to come in with Blessed Shield, and then Chromie Grey Mane just doing what they do. And I really feel like that's how it's going to play off. But so far, I haven't seen it yet. Joanna actually working on trying to find some kind of an engage. Blessed Shield coming in, and Entomb was coming in. Joe was taken down really low, though. Team picked off by ETC. Leoric looks like he could be the next to go. And now, DG has
Both
no
tanks
choice but to go retreat to their keep, and this protector could potentially be game ending right now.
Yeah, they're going to hit 20 taking this wall here. And if they, well, they just hit 20 there. So they're going to pick up their 20 talents. Going for pride from Asmo.
Indeed. And right now, this protector just taking his sweet time, working on taking out the walls, the towers, trying to zone out that team with that beam. Actually, Artanis working on trying to get that crazy swap in on the Leoric. Grayman was actually a little bit low. Purified Beam is being used on him. Riptide looking for something. Straight knife.
They're going for another keep in place of going for the core. I feel like they could
I feel
end
like
it.
this is a little bit of a disrespect on the side of Calculated Throw. They absolutely had the opportunity to end game, and I feel like right now, I feel like ETC and Asmodan are going to be suffering for this. And actually, no.
Leoric, Chromie both fall.
And Artan is getting a crazy swap on that Greymane. And for that one moment where I thought Calculated Throw made a huge mistake, Mystic turning it around into opportunity. And this game one is going to go to Calculated Throw.
Yeah, that was a very, very clean game from Calculated Throw. There wasn't any big, crazy fight that happened. It was all very solid play, very standard play. They had a plan. They knew what they wanted to do from the get-go.
Yeah.
They got the Junkrat, they got the Asmo,
Yeah.
and they poked forever. And they just won
the game.
So
let's just take a look here at this stat summary here, and just out the gate, you know, we see the power of Asmodan coming out. Just leader in the whole game for everything. Siege damage, hero damage, experience. 15 kills coming out for Calculated Throw versus the 3 from DG Reborn. I kind of feel like they're Leoric, definitely in the death count there, you could kind of tell that there was a lot of moments where he kind of maybe went a little bit too aggressive without a fast team, which could be a sense of miscommunication. It could be a wide variety of things, but at the same time, though, I kind of was expecting Calculated Throw to win this map. This was their map pick, and it's definitely been their strongest go-to map so far in NGS. They've been dominating on it for the most part, and so if I was DG, if you were DG, what would you be thinking right now, Tyro?
Honestly, I wouldn't consider this loss too big of a deal. You just need to regroup as a 5-man and say, hey, that was their map, that was their strategy. They've planned this for a long time. Now we're going to show them what we've planned. We're going to take it to Braxis, a map that doesn't really get picked all that often, and we're going to show what we can do.
Yeah, and so in the moment, that's what I'm trying to do right now, trying to get Braxis holdout ready for everybody. I almost accidentally put Braxis Outpost. That would have been funny if this became an ARAM. All right.
I'd play. You think they'd mind?
They'd mind.
Feels bad.
All right, so just working on getting everybody in. And yeah, so DG definitely has their chance to say, hey, you know, this was your map. That's fine. We're going to take our map. And so we're in the process of getting everybody into the game. And right now, yeah, I'm definitely kind of curious to see. I mean, definitely one of the picks I saw from that last game. Actually, 2 picks I saw from coming out of DG that were picked up was the Malfurion and the Joanna. Definitely 2 of the other picks that I saw from the homework I did for that team. Yeah, let's see how this goes.
I expect to see the Asmo get banned this map. Especially, it's still that same hold the point for forever type game. You don't want to see an Asmo getting those free stacks.
I mean, Asmo has kind of potential here, but at the same time, I feel like it's a 2-lane map. It's not. I wouldn't say it's his strong suit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he definitely has great potential as a split pusher, but he also excels whenever he gets all those hits, goes gluttony, gets those stacks, and then even if you lose the Zerg wave, which is going to be rare for Asmo, he just melts it. All those minions giving him the extra cooldown, it gets ugly.
Yeah, so kind of some of the bans I'd be expecting to see right now, coming at least from DG, I'd expect to see Nartanis ban. If not, I'm expecting them to pick it up. Asmo should be getting banned here. You know, it was just really well played from Calculated. I mean, there was a couple few moments here and there, but they overall executed really well.
Yeah, that's the thing to note. There wasn't like some sort of cheese. There wasn't I'll take that back. There was one pick that got me. The Artanis into the Leoric top lane. I don't feel you normally take Leoric that early unless you're already expecting something.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just kind of taking a look at the Twitch chat here. DTM Goat looked like he says here that he thinks, or he or she thinks that they could have used Cursed Bullet to help melt the tanks, which is true. And then Hector from earlier, he would have liked to see more split zone from DG to leave one bot lane for go top to disengage at the site of enemy team. You know, so a little bit of feedback there from the Twitch chat. All right, everybody's ready. And so we're going to get ready to get into this game. So here we go. Game number 2 in this Div D series between Calculated Throw and DG Reborn. And we're coming in here on Brax's Holdout. This is the map pick for DG Reborn. And I just realized I need to update the score for the game. Just there we go. It should pop up. And here we go. We're going to have a Blaze ban coming out from Calculated Throw. This is their ban from earlier. Asmodan right out the gate being banned by DG. They said nope.
Yeah. Blaze is still a great ban. Genji is still a great ban.
Yeah, this is definitely especially on one of his best maps, if not the best map for Genji. So I was not surprised to see that ban. And actually, Junkrat, both respect bans here right now. Asmodan and Junkrat being taken away. Rainer's still on the table. Urel's still on the table. You know, White Main's on the table. Even Durand, you know, she had a bit of rework. She's on the table. And if anybody was expecting to see Mephisto here right now, he's currently not available for play in NGS during this round. He won't be available until round 4. And Calculated Throw going for Arthas as their first pick.
It'll be curious to see if they intend to use him as a main tank or if they intend to use him.
And then right now we actually have Leoric and Ariel coming out from DG Reborn, and this was the pick that I was expecting to see at some point tonight that I did not bring up. Cho'Gall, 10 out of 10. We're going to have Mystic on the Gall and Scooterman on the Cho. And Alex Strauss being banned, which is actually a pretty worthy ban because Lifebinder on a Cho'Gall. And I would expect to see maybe a Tychus ban come out right now. I'd expect to see a Malthael, you know, because there's really two Cho'Gall not friendly heroes.
Yes, you are right. The Tychus it is. Honestly, that makes a lot of sense, especially whenever you also have Arthas. Tychus just gets so much value out of that.
A little bit of banter right now. The Calculated Throw special. Oh, wow. That was definitely the ace in the hole.
How does DG
I mean, the Leoric, which actually isn't a bad thing.
How do they come back?
Phoenix coming out right now, which You know, he can do some damage to Cho'Gall. However, where he really does shine is if you pick up Planet Cracker and you use it, as soon as that Zerg wave is starting to come out from its cage, it does so much damage, free damage to the Zerg wave. And actually, Ana here being picked up for Calculated Throw, which was one of the other picks I was expecting from them. And then Greymane. So right now, I see some pretty decent potential to kill Greymane. Ariel, most likely going to be either on the Greymane or the Phoenix for energy. Leoric is just really good at doing that kind of damage against tanks, but this just I don't know what to make of this right now.
So we're definitely gonna need level 10s on the side of DG. And Greymane has to pick up that Cursed Bullet. It's going to be so useful against Cho'Gall. But that being said, if you don't kill Ana, then Cho'Gall's just going to reign free. And he's such a big target. It's not a hard snipe kill target. And the nano boost is going to get ugly.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things I'd also kind of be on the lookout for would be Cassia, just she is, especially for that Greymane, or maybe even the Phoenix, so she's really going to be really important for some of those cleanups that, Cho'Gall doesn't necessarily get. And so, yeah, right now, if I was DG, I'd be just thinking, all right, we need to just kind of play as safe as we can, not give too much up, but not let them take too much.
Yeah, something to note about Cho'Gall is recently he had a slight nerf. At level 16, his channeling fist is no longer unstoppable. So maybe that's an exploit they can use with the...
Yeah, that was a few patches ago. But, all right, so representing here, Calculated Throw, we're going to have on the Cho'Gall, it's going to be Mystic and Scooterman as Skostik. We're going to have on the Arthas, Strugans. We're going to have on the Cassia Fear, and on the Ana, we're going to have Gravent.
And for DG Reborn, Abdel is on the Phoenix, Track and Matt is on Ariel, Ridley on Greymane, Yeoman on Joanna, and Gawain on Leoric.
Alright, right now this was expecting Arthas and Soul Lane, Leoric in the Soul Lane, and which is kind of odd because right now I kind of almost want to see Leoric in the 4-man.
Yeah, against that Cho'Gall. Maybe throw Greymane up there against that Arthas. Stay away from him, and you can do a lot of damage and bully that Arthas out of the lane. But choosing to put the Greymane down here, we'll see how it works out. I feel like if they play it safe
right now, if DG plays it safe right now, they're not in the worst position. They just can't afford to really lose that much in the early game. They can't really afford it.
Yes, Greymane's playing a little bit aggressively, ending up ahead of Joanna a couple of times there.
Not being Phoenix being forced to use Warp there.
Good wave clear coming up from DG.
Yeah, right now DG just at slight ahead. And Phoenix opting to go up, potentially. Maybe help out the Arthas there. Cho'Gall working on that siege camp, which I'm not surprised about at all. Trying to get that little bit of extra pressure.
Honestly, I was a little surprised Greymane didn't break to take a camp of his own. But very quick cap for DG, getting some early.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 6%, but, it's 6 more than they had before. And however, I kind of like this. I think they've realized that they're not going to win the lane with Cho'Gall in it, so they're going to do what they can to win the lane against Arthas. Because right now, as it stands already, like, Leoric is definitely good against tanks in general, and then Phoenix here just adds that additional damage. So it looks like they're just doing what they can and maybe eventually try and trade out the Soak right now. Because the longer Cho'Gall is going to stay down there, eventually those towers and that wall, they're going to go down.
Calculated Throw needs to rotate someone to deal with this Phoenix Arthas aggression. Because they're taking
yeah, Cassie actually rotating up. So right now it's we got Cho'Gall, Ana down in the bot lane. Phoenix rotating back down.
Phoenix has returned.
And this could, yeah, this is the chance that they
fight
have
that
right
they
here.
want.
Cho'Gath could be in a bit of trouble here. Managing to get away. They secure bottom right now. But yeah, Cho'Gath definitely saw that he was in trouble. Phoenix actually starting to rotate back up to help York. And you know, I kind of like this setup from
bottom.
DG. However, Joanna a little bit low, having to use Iron Skin just to get that little bit of shield.
Arthur's about to die. He's being ganked by Phoenix and saved by Cassia blind.
Yeah, we are pretty low though at the same time though, so right now definitely some interesting back and forth going on. Naewyn going face to face against Cho'Gath. Greymane working on dealing out some damage. And Ariel actually staying a pretty consistent amount of energy. Cho'Gath actually being pushed away from this beacon.
Greymane is putting out a lot of damage, giving a lot of hope to Ariel. DG is in a very good place
it's
right
pretty contingent on this bag,
top,
on this fight here top. Leoric actually was really low again. However, Phoenix is going against the Arthas. Cassia, Phoenix is going to go down. Arthas might be next.
Phoenix
this is not what we want to see happen for DG, or at least that's not what DG wants to see for DG. However, the experience is still even across the board for both teams. Well, just about even.
Leoric survives, but does not have tap for 70 seconds.
Yeah, right now he's just looking to play it safe. Cassia went in Hearthed. Anna went in Hearthed. Just working on kind of refilling.
Phoenix is returned top. Cassia is moving top. Phoenix looking to slowly soak that while Leoric goes back for health. Cho'Gath going back in.
Calculated throw, the real spicy boys. And I have casted the spicy boys before. It was my very first cast for NGS. Fellow Div D team. And right now, just, yeah, back and forth right now. DG doesn't have their 7 talents online yet. They just got them. And it's Phoenix Leoric battling against Cassia and Arthas, but it seems that, you know, they don't have the advantage anymore. They're the ones getting pushed back.
Yeah, Cassia is very, very strong against Phoenix, especially if he gets rooted by that Arthas. Greymane putting out some
Phoenix
serious
actually working
damage.
on coming down on rotation. Maybe they realize that this next set of play is just to try and push back this Cho'Gath, and Cassie actually being forced to come down now, trying to even the odds. She's on the point. Greymane actually charging in
Cassie's
on her,
going to point.
getting blinded, but Cassie didn't really follow up.
Joanna going very low against that Cho'Gath. Cassia trying to finish it, gets whipped by Ariel.
I feel like right now for DG, their whole securing beacons is really contingent on that Leoric right now. Leoric has to do something against this Arthas. Actually, Iron Skin was used early on that from that Joe, and she might suffer for it here. She manages to get away. However, Phoenix is really low. Having to use his warp to get away.
Calculated throw, able to move in and secure that bottom, but top was secured by Leoric.
It's definitely going to be one of those games where it takes a while to see some beacons going on right now. We got 34% in favor of DG.
I hope it's not another level 16 for Surge Wave.
Joe actually in a bit of trouble. She was put to sleep, having to use Condemn for the extra movement speed to get away. Ariel doing what they can to heal.
Good whip from Moro. Arthas
And
dying
you know,
to
that's
Phoenix.
actually not a bad pick. Phoenix can come rotate down now. They're still staying down here, though. Cassia, Anna, and the Cho'Gath. However, they're
Phoenix
going for
and
this.
Leoric moving down. This is a 5 on
right now.
4.
However, Leoric and Joanna kind of chunked down already. However, the beacons are secured right now for DG at sitting at 50%. Arthas is going to take a little bit of time to get back up there. And for now, DG is just working on securing some of this wave. Joanna actually low, having to get away. Phoenix actually starting to get chunked down as well. We got a warp coming in. Ariel working what you can to get out those heals. Chogo actually getting chunked down, a little bit of potential trouble.
I feel like Calculated Throw's in a very good position right now. You've got 3 heroes that are at half health or less for DG. They need to go back, hearth tap, whatever it takes. And there's a lot of structure damage coming out of Calculated Throw. That wall is almost entirely gone.
Yeah, but let's not forget, though, DG actually has a pretty good amount of Zerg right now.
Leoric is Hearthing. Phoenix
yeah, but that's all you need
Arthas.
right now. You just need somebody to hold the point. And that's what Phoenix is doing right now. It gives a chance for Leoric to kind of go Hearth. And 10s are online for each team. And, you know, we're going to have Twisting Nether coming out of Gaul. We're going to have Hammer Twilight coming from Cho. Arthas not opting to take his yet. Nano Boost from Ana. Valkyrie from the Cassia. And we have Gaul securing Ariel in the meantime.
Cassia already using the Valkyrie to try to secure the Phoenix kill, but he got
And then
away.
on the side of DG, we're going to see Planet Cracker coming from Phoenix, which is to be expected. We have Resurrect coming from the Ariel. Cassia actually picking off that Leoric up top and Calculated Throw saying, hey, you can have your 78. We'll take our 100. Now, I'd really like to see this Planet Cracker being used by this Phoenix.
Planet Cracker was already used. He used it to try to save
it is
the
on
Leoric.
cooldown. And that's a shame, because really it's something you want to see. And right now we're having a defense down here from DG, trying to save that fort. I feel like they need to focus on Ultralisk. And, you know, they might save it. And likewise, Calculated Throw, easily cleaning this up. They lost their, they don't have towers or gate anymore, but the bottom fort right now is definitely in a more bleak position for DG. And the Bruiser Camp being worked on immediately after the Zerg waves fall. Leoric having a bit of a hard time here defending this top fort. The well going down. Ariel possibly looking to come reinforce.
I like the camp take a little bit more than I like the pressure top. Yeah, they got a tower. They knocked another tower almost to the ground. But having the map pressure from the camps is a little bit stronger right now, in my opinion. And you're going to see DG pick up their siege camp, and we'll see if they're feeling like engaging on the other siege camp. Or if they're just going to push.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's going to be just trading out camps. I mean, I feel like if I was Calculated Throw after I take this Bruiser Camp, I'd wait for a wave and then try and finish off that fort. And if I was DG, I'd be working on trying to just trade out. And then that's what it looks like, exactly what's going on here.
Calculated Throw moving top to defend this.
Yeah, DG sees it, working on getting away. Twisting Nether is being used, but it was kind of a waste. That's on cooldown for a while.
Well, that's being said, it looks like this fort is probably going to fall to this wave and Arthas. Leoric getting low.
However, Entomb coming in, Planet Cracker being used on this Arthas. Sindragosa coming online, so that fort will not shoot anything. In a desperate attempt to secure the fort, still lives on by a thread. However, top fort is in trouble, and that is gone.
Joanna taking tower shots, trying to get some.
Yeah, they're working on getting some value. They need to get their 13s online.
And they will on the back of this wave. However, Calculated Throw coming in saying they want the fight right now.
Yeah, the DG's managing to get away, though, and this is what I like to see. They secured the 13.
DG playing very well in the face of what happened.
Yeah, they're definitely, saying, hey, we're not out without a fight. Not yet. Beacon's actually starting off very briefly for calculated throw. Leoric securing the top one, saying, hey, what's up, Arthas? Phoenix rotating up to help against Arthas. Meanwhile, we have a bottom push here from calculated throw towards this fort. Joanna actually pretty low. Ariel having to use her heal. Greymane potentially in trouble. Fort is down. And I really feel like the longer this goes, the less fortunate DG is going to be in. They need to secure some picks.
I agree.
They need to make a play happen. I understand they're trying to play the slow game against Cho'Gall, and actually Cursed Bullet being used by the Greymane, but Joanna goes down. And right now, you know,
DG's in a lot of trouble. The well is still up on bottom for calculated throw. They're going to hold that bottom beacon, what I feel like is going to be indefinitely. And they're pushing cube wall right now.
Yeah, right now it looks like they're trying to, you know, secure that next keep. They could even potentially try and go for keep here. But it looks like they're just going to play it safe, try and secure those beacons. Phoenix actually trying to do what he can to soak up top, try to keep his team in the game. Yeah, I feel like right now, if I was DG, I'd be pulling that Phoenix down. I'd be trying to take a fight. And they're opting to take their bruiser camp right now.
16, just a few seconds away from being online. Phoenix being attacked by Cassia and Arthas, but looks like he's going to get away. Valkyrie used.
Abdel on the Phoenix is in trouble, though. He's rooted. He's going to go down. Low. This is not what DG needed. However, Cassie here actually managing to rotate away here. Ariel probably going to resurrect. Yeah, Phoenix going to be coming back online.
This is a smart play from DG, knowing that they're down in both levels and members, just rotating, trying to keep those beacons away from the hands. Calculated throw, trying to prolong this.
Cho'Gall coming up, though. And this is this unsuspecting DG who's trying to take their camp. However, whipped away. However, Twisted Nether coming online. Entomb being used.
First bullet.
And right now we have Planet Cracker coming in, but it's not doing enough damage. The tanks are gone.
3 down on the side of DG, 4 down on the side of
Quad
DG.
Kill going onto DG Reborn. And the calculated throw securing these beacons. And now they're definitely going to do boss. And I feel like this is going to be a game ender here. Phoenix doesn't have.
I agree.
Phoenix doesn't have Planet Cracker for the Zerg wave. There's a siege camp already pushing the keep on the lane, which the Zerg's going to be coming from. You know, it's going to be bad. And then boss is going to be going top lane. So it's going to be split pressure as well. If I was
No, this is a very large wave coming with boss pressure, coming with level 16s against a level 15 DG. I
feel like DG doesn't have like much to do here. I feel like, you know, if they're going to fight, they need to fight now. Is it?
Yeah, before the Zerg wave gets here, but that's not going to happen, and there goes
Valkyrie being used, not picking up anything, though. Twisting Nether being used. Leoric potentially in trouble here. Joanna is being in trouble. Actually, most of the team's really low right now. First keep is go down. We have the Zerg wave, boss, and calculating throw coming in. Leoric is going down. Game number 2, going to calculated throw. Planet Cracker desperately being used, trying to do what he can. And there we go, game number 2, going to calculated throw. And a domination against DG Reborn. Yeah, that was an intense game. You know, I'll give it out to DG Reborn though, for that good wow, they weren't necessarily going toe to toe in the kill department, but they were keeping up in the experience. And then once a level 10 hit, it seemed like things just kind of started going downhill from there.
It was a very low kill game. That's for sure. Only 11 kills on the side of the winning team, 2 for DG. A lot of damage being put out, but most of it tanked up and then subsequently healed.
Indeed. Right now, I'm working on messaging Calculated Throw, an interview. See if we can get them in here. See what he says.
We do indeed
All right,
have
so
Mystic
let's
in
go
the
down
lobby.
and get Mystic here on this interview here. Hello. How you doing, Mystic?
What's up?
So here we have with us. We're doing
Very
pretty
well.
good.
How you doing?
Thanks for asking. So right here with us, we have the captain of Calculated Throw, none other than Mystic. And for those of you that may have caught the game late or, didn't want to hear my voice, Mystic was the Gaul player?
I was
Yes, you were the Gaul player from
Gaul.
Praxis. And just that was a really, if you go back to the VOD, once it's up, you will see the excitement come out of my voice because it was one of the picks it was that pick I was expecting to see come out of you guys tonight. And so how are you guys feeling after that series?
Man, it's feeling good now. We needed the win. Come back up in the ranks some, and just the confidence in the way my team's been playing lately is I'm very proud of them. They've grown more patient, they've grown more communicative, and it's showing and it's paying off.
Yeah, speaking of that confidence that you're talking about, that communication, I feel like it showed very most in game 1 in that Volskaya Foundry, where it just seemed like you guys didn't make any mistakes. There was no opportunities for DG to punish you.
Yeah, we've grown very comfortable there, and it's showing. Without giving too much away, it's just we've kind of got a system down to it, and it's working.
Yeah, so like just some of those plays in those games are just crazy. Like in that Volskaya game, for example, when you guys went for the keep and you opted to go for that second keep, that was almost a big mistake for you guys. Once that Entomb came in, yeah. I was like, oh no. But Asmo said nope.
Yeah, we made the call, and then we realized, oh shit, we're down to like 5 seconds. So we started backing out. We figured the Entomb was coming with it, so I just kept clicking back, and we put the ETC between me and them, and they came rushing in. I had empowered 300.
Yeah,
and
you definitely had those stacks pretty
so.
up high. But yeah, just really great performance from you guys tonight. But DG, I feel like in Praxis, still, put up the good fight. They're up with you guys almost neck and neck and soak for a long time until Tens came online.
Yeah. Praxis is a little rougher to run the Cho'Gall on simply because it's such a tightly contested thing. It's a good map for him once he comes online, but the early game is just very rough. And we had that situation last night, actually, where we fell way behind in the early game with Cho'Gall on that one, and we turned it around. But here we kind of had a better idea going into it. We actually, when they picked the Ariel Leoric right out the gate, we actually thought maybe they were leaning towards it, so we went ahead and snagged them early. We were actually going to wait.
One of the things I was kind of looking at, though, especially in the early game, I was looking more for maybe once you guys had the Cho'Gall locked in, I was actually looking to see the Leo in the 4-man, in like Greymane up top or Phoenix up top, one of them, because Leoric can chunk down Cho'Gall's health a pretty good bit as well. I saw you guys opted for that Tychus ban, which I was either expecting Tychus or Malthael, one or the other.
Yeah, we weren't too sure which one to go with there. The other one we've run into issues with is a new
Yeah, you can just charge burrow in, cocoon Cho'Gall, and get your team. And then Cho'Gall's like, hey, dudes, what's up?
Where'd everybody go?
honestly, you almost left me speechless. It's hard for me to find questions whenever the play was just clean. I mean, it wasn't like there was some great big cheese strat. Cho'Gall is a cheese, but just the clean play and the way you guys executed. It was a very solid showing.
Thank you. I'm sure Cho'Gall will always be called the cheese, but it's working.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
There's ways to beat him. There's ways to get around it, and he's definitely one of our not our go-to, but he's definitely something we have pocketed and ready. And obviously, we're not afraid to throw out and show. So, especially on 2 maps that we're very comfortable running them on.
Kind of to wrap this interview up, do you happen to have any shout-outs you'd like to give, Mystic?
Mostly to my team, guys. Keep it up. I'm playing really well. Keep the communication up, and quit taking bad rotations for the enemy team's area.
So you heard it from your captain, guys. Don't take bad rotations anymore.
No, it's all good. Family, friends, especially the wife who lets me do this. And besides that, man, just everybody in NGS, it's been great. It's been a wonderful way to stay in shape and keep those games going. Let's see how the rest of the season goes.
All right. Thanks for the interview, and thanks for letting us cast some fun games.
Thank you.
All right, and there we have it. That was our interview with Mystic, the captain of Calculated Throw, who went for the domination against DG Reborn. And what about you, Tyrell? Any final thoughts from our series? Any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Not a particular shout-out. Maybe to NGS, the opportunity to cast is wonderful. This is something I've always wanted to do, and NGS has been a wonderful platform for me to finally actually be able to do that. My final thoughts, just guys, if you're watching this, watch out for Calculated Throw. You got to figure out a way to beat that clean play. Sorry, I can't give you any hints. I don't know. I feel like I'd struggle against this team.
Yeah, they definitely came out swinging tonight, and so with that, just a final shout out from me to NGS. Tonight was my debut cast as a full-fledged member of their casting team, so it's really cool. It's really fun. I've had fun doing, getting to work with the wide variety of casters and co-casters. Well, maybe except for you, Tyra. I've known you for way too long. I'm kidding, but yeah, it's been really fun, and I hope that you guys that come to watch have been enjoying my casts. I try really hard for you guys. And with that said, that's going to be the end of our Division D East matchup for this evening between Calculated Throw and DG Reborn. I am Yep, and my co-chair for tonight was Mr. Tyro. So everybody have a pleasant evening, and we will catch you in the next one.